afternoon, I'm Mai Rodriguez. Today on Newsfeed at noon, government officials and social media influencers attend today's House probe into the spread of fake news. Transportation Secretary Vince Dizon orders the NLEX to waive toll fees in areas affected by the repair of the damaged Marilao interchange bridge. The International Olympic Committee elects its first ever female and African president. And the Oscar-winning animated film Coco is getting a sequel. Thanks for joining us. House lawmakers resume their probe into the proliferation of fake news and disinformation. In attendance, several government officials and social media influencers. Zandro Ochona is monitoring the hearing at the Batasang Pambansa. He joins us now for updates. Zandro, what's the latest?
Yes, Mai, some of those who failed to attend previous hearings are here today. Among those attending are former PCO Secretary Trixie Cruz Angeles and several social media personalities. Also present are PCO Secretary J. Ruiz, Undersecretary Claire Castro, PNP CIDG Chief Nicolas Torre, and PCG spokesperson J. Tariela, among others. When asked, Angeles said she is here to comply after a subpoena was issued along with 10 other social media personalities by the 3 House committees. We were able to speak to Angeles before the hearing. Let's listen to her.
No, this is a subpoena. You obey an official summons. So this is by law, you're supposed to comply with the summons.
Yung first and second, di ba nasubpina rin kayo nun, ma'am?
No, those were invitations. So today it's a summons.
Alright. Anong ina-expect nyo dito sa hearing, ma'am?
I understand that this is in aid of legislation. We're supposed to give information as to the legislation that they're proposing. Yun po yung nakalagay sa invitation.
The current PCO Secretary J. Ruiz was also given an opportunity to share what he thinks the problem is. Ruiz said fake news is being used to divide Filipinos. Mai?
Zandro, so far, have we heard anything from the social media personalities?
Earlier, each of the social media personalities are given time to share their opening statements, and most of them have denied sharing fake news. We are yet to hear from Angeles for her statement here at the hearing. Mai?
All right, keep us posted. Zandro Ochona reporting from the Batasang Pambansa. Former Union Digital Bank President and CEO Henry Aguda is the new Secretary of the Information and Communications Technology Department. He succeeds Ivan Uy, who resigned earlier this month. Before his new role, Aguda served as the Digital Infrastructure Lead at the Private Sector Advisory Council, a group tasked with assisting the Marcos administration in creating innovative partnerships between the private and public sectors. Transportation Secretary Vince Dizon orders the NLEX to waive the toll from Balintawak to Marilao amid the repair of the damaged Marilao interchange bridge. The bridge on Wednesday was hit by trucks, forcing the closure of 2 northbound lanes. The incident and the ongoing repair have caused heavy traffic in the area. Dizon says they have issued a show cause order to the NLEX.
Ang unang-unang kailangan ipaliwanag ng NLEX, paano nakalusot yung truck na oversize. Dapat yan, sa mga exit pa lang, dapat meron na yung mga gantry na sinasabi, ito ang height limit. So paano nakalusot? Responsibilidad ng operator na siguraduhin ang mga overheight hindi nakakalusot. So, medyo aabangan ko ang paliwanag ng NLEX. Ikalawa, I demanded from NLEX yesterday or the other day na damihan nila ang mga lanes. Kailangan 3 lanes yung sa bridge, no? And napansin ko kahapon na ginawa na nila yun, no? So, 3 na yung lanes sa bridge na yun. So, kahit paano, bibilis ng konti yun, no? Pero kailangan pa rin ng traffic management.
Dizon also wants the NLEX to speed up the repair. The agency earlier said it could take 2 to 3 weeks. It also explained the trucks pass through the lane intended only for Class 1 vehicles. Transport Group Manibela mounts a surprise strike days before their planned protest on Monday. Paulo Barcelona is on the scene for us in Dasmariñas, Cavite for the latest. Paulo, what's the situation there and what are the drivers' demands?
Well, Mai, here in Dasmariñas City, as you can see and hear behind me, things are starting to go back to normal with some jeeps already going back to their daily routes. But earlier this morning, some drivers who are part of Manibela mounted a strike which affected some commuters who are heading to different areas of Cavite and southern Metro Manila. With many intercity jeep routes, the southern part of Metro Manila, particularly towns close to Cavite, had also seen strike actions. Earlier this morning in Parañaque, around 100 traditional jeepney drivers held their strike along Sucat Road. They call on LTFRB Chairman Teofilo Guadis to resign and they want to bring their concerns directly to Transportation Secretary Vince Dizon.
Wala po kaming tutol, napakaganda po yung DOTR Secretary Vince Dizon sa ginagawa mong nais makipag-usap sa aming chairman. Sa aming chairman, para sa ganon, malalaman mo talaga kung ano talagang tunay na nangyayari. Matanda na ako, pero kahit ko, sa edad ko na 60 plus, 61 years old, nais ko pa rin makipaglaban dahil wala nga akong ibang pinagkakitaan.
Now, several areas in Metro Manila also saw protest actions such as outside the DOTR headquarters in San Juan, in Monumento, Caloocan City, in Las Piñas City, and in the Marcos Highway in Marikina City. Now, the Transportation Department earlier said that they are open for dialogue and that they have prepared with other agencies just in case commuters are affected. Mai?
Paulo, along the areas you have monitored, are there still jeeps or other transport options for commuters?
Well, yes, Mai. Actually, some of the drivers we spoke to earlier in Parañaque City said that after 10 o'clock in the morning, they will go back to plying their usual routes because they need to have some sort of income for the day, while some drivers chose not to participate in the strike altogether, citing the need for them to earn on a daily basis. As for commuting options, Mai, in the south of Metro Manila and here in Dasmariñas, we can still see some buses plying some routes in within Cavite as well as towards Metro Manila, and jeeps, just like the one behind me, are already back to their normal operations. Mai?
Thank you, Paulo Barcelona, reporting to us live from Dasmariñas, Cavite. Bad news for motorists, as after 3 weeks of rollbacks, all prices are seen to go up next week. Gasoline is forecast to have the biggest hike by as much as 1 peso per liter. Diesel could increase by up to 50 centavos per liter and kerosene by up to 30 centavos. Factors for the price increase include renewed tensions in the Middle East. Another controversial EO signed by U.S. President Donald Trump. This one intends to essentially dismantle the education department. The EO will leave school policy almost entirely in the hands of states and local boards. It's the latest step by Trump to curb federal bureaucracy. Just last week, the department announced it would lay off nearly half of its staff.
The United States spends more money on education by far than any other country, and spends likewise by far more money per pupil than any country, and it's not even close, but yet we rank near the bottom of the list in terms of success. But we're going to be returning education very simply back to the states where it belongs, and this is a very popular thing to do, but much more importantly, it's a common sense thing to do, and it's going to work. Absolutely, it's going to work.
Some royal news now. Britain's Prince William on a 2-day trip to Estonia. His visit includes a meeting with Estonian leader Alar Karis, with the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine on their agenda. He also greeted British troops on Estonia's border with Russia, then visited a school that teaches Ukrainian refugees. Earlier this week, Estonia withdrew from a treaty banning anti-personnel landmines, seen as a sign of rising tensions with Russia. Meantime, dozens of tourists gather at England's famous Stonehenge to celebrate spring solstice. The iconic monument attracts thousands of revelers and spiritualists each year. It is believed to be a center of spiritualism more than 2,000 years ago. The UNESCO World Heritage Site is built in alignment to the midsummer sunrise and the midwinter sunset. For all tulip lovers out there, you might want to head over to the Netherlands, where the world's biggest tulip garden opens for its 76th edition. Keukenhof Park is located southwest of Amsterdam and is said to be one of the most photographed spots in the globe. The park dates back to 1949 when a group of bulb exporters and growers inaugurated it as a showcase for their wares.
We've been here for about a half a week, and this was on our list of things to do. So we want to see the tulip fields, and that's part of the Holland experience.
Still to come, Olympic gold medalist Kirsty Coventry becomes the first female and African president of the International Olympic Committee. That and more when Newsfeed at noon returns. Today marks the first ever National Working Students Day. And in Makati, the Mapua Malayan Digital College is leading a whole day of festivities in honor of our hardworking students. Our mobile journalist, Ivy Reyes, is there. She joins us now live. Ivy, go ahead.
Mai, the energy is high as we celebrate the first National Working Students Day here at the Ayala Mall Circuit. This event is an initiative by the Mapua Malayan Digital College, or MMDC, in honor of working students nationwide. Though today is the official day to acknowledge the role of working students in our society, efforts to recognize them started way back in 2023, when Mapua launched the Step Up sa Pangarap, a movement dedicated to upscale their skills and career opportunities by introducing them to several industries. This afternoon, they will recognize the 4 outstanding working students in Luzon and will also hold a networking activity where participants will get a chance to learn from top employers and industry leaders. They can ask about industry trends, career growth and development, and of course, workplace culture and support. There will also be a mixer for students in the workforce to have fun and an interactive day or a fellowship with their fellow working students. After which, they can also join the job fair, where several companies like Concentric, convenience store chain 7-Eleven, McDonald's, RCBC, Maya, and Telstra offers positions suited for a balanced career and academic schedule. This nationwide event is simultaneously being held in Bacolod at the Banwa co-working space. That's the latest here from Ayala Mall Circuit. Mai?
Thank you, Ivy Reyes, reporting from Makati. Over to Cyprus, where a museum is showcasing priceless early Christian artworks. The Byzantine Museum opened in the capital after 5 years of extensive renovations. Many of the exhibits were looted by smugglers after a Turkish invasion in 1974. Authorities have worked to reclaim numerous stolen works over the years.
It's in a great scale, this destruction, the looting that was faced our island, because we have calculated that more than 20,000 icons have been stolen and have been disappeared from the churches. We are going to continue also helping the new generations to understand what happened in our island and why it's important to safeguard even the smaller piece that can be brought from abroad.
Snoopy celebrating his 75th anniversary in style. Over 50 plushes of the popular beagle dressed in designer clothes are on display in an exhibition in Paris. These include outfits from Chanel to Hermes and Balenciaga. The exhibition runs until April 5th.
Snoopy became everything. He became the flying ace. He became the World War II pilot. He became a soldier behind the lines. He became everything that we think of him.
The 14th installment in the blockbuster Assassin's Creed franchise has officially arrived. The release of Assassin's Creed Shadows marks a make-or-break moment, not just for struggling games heavyweight Ubisoft, but for the entire European gaming ecosystem. Early reviews, though, have been positive, with the game receiving a score of 81 over 100 on Metacritic. More than 17 Ubisoft studios employing hundreds have poured 5 years of work into Shadows, with an estimated budget running into hundreds of millions of euros. We're taking another breather. Up ahead, the legal battle continues as Blake Lively seeks the dismissal of Justin Baldoni's $400 million defamation lawsuit. The details after the break. Stay with us.
Mikey Oreta, Economy in Focus, Trade Talks, 11 a.m. on BNC, the Billionario News Channel. Mai Rodriguez, Mai Milyonario, Trade Talks, 11 a.m. on BNC, the Billionario News Channel.
You're still watching Newsfeed at noon. History is made at the International Olympic Committee as the group elects its first female and African president in its 130-year run. Olympic gold medalist Kirsty Coventry will replace her mentor, Thomas Beck, who has reached the maximum 12 years in office. The swimming great from Zimbabwe will formally lead the IOC starting in June.
This honor that I've been given to serve our movement is going to allow for us to have a greater reach into new regions, but also to shine a light onto new regions. And this is part of the uniqueness of the Olympic movement, the diversity that we all have. And I truly believe that this decision today is showing that universality and that globalness of our movement.
It's official, boxing will be in the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics. The sweet science was included in the Summer Games calendar following a unanimous vote from the IOC. This comes after the executive board granted provisional recognition to World Boxing last month. The sport's previous governing body, the International Boxing Association, was unaccredited in 2023 over governance and financial issues. The IOC had wanted a new global boxing body before including the sport on the LA 2028 program.
I want to stress this is a significant milestone. Having boxing back in the Olympic program is the result of very hard work from the whole world boxing team, all the national federations, the Olympic Commission with Mr. Gennady Golovkin, and everyone who supports the sport of boxing. The ultimate goal for world boxing, as always, was to keep the Olympic dream alive for every boxer in every gym in the world.
In the NBA, a new era awaits defending champions, the Boston Celtics. That's as a group led by billionaire Bill Chisholm agrees to buy the franchise for $6.1 billion from the Grusbeck family. The sale, though, is still pending approval from the NBA Board of Governors. If approved, this would break the record for the most expensive sports team purchase in North America. The purchase of NFL team, the Washington Commanders, previously set the record in 2023 with $6.05 billion. And new Queen Bulldog Micaela Bella Belen on track to win back-to-back MVP titles in the UAAP. Belen is leading the MVP race in season 87 with 159,600 statistical points. NU is also on top of the team standings, ahead of the second round with a perfect 7-0 record. At number 2 is La Salle Taft Tower Shivana Laput. In entertainment, Blake Lively asked a U.S. judge to dismiss Justin Baldoni's $400 million defamation lawsuit. In a filing in Manhattan, Lively called the lawsuit a vengeful and rambling case that does not belong in federal court. She's also seeking unspecified triple and punitive damages for reputational and emotional harm that the defendants allegedly caused. Lively and Baldoni have feuded publicly since December when the actress accused him of sexual harassment on the set of their film It Ends With Us. An early holiday gift for Mariah Carey as a U.S. judge dismisses a copyright lawsuit against her. Carey was sued over her hit, All I Want for Christmas Is You, by a songwriter who released a track with the same name in 1989. But a judge says the two songs simply shared Christmas song cliches that are found in many other jingles. The plaintiffs were ordered to cover some of Carey's legal costs. And do you remember Coco? Well, the 2017 animated hit film is getting a sequel. Disney says Coco is already in the works and slated for release in 2029. The first film won 2 Academy Awards for Best Animated Feature and Best Original Song for Remember Me. It also won a Golden Globe and a BAFTA. And those are the news this hour. I'm Mai Rodriguez. Keep it here on the Billionaire News channel. Good afternoon and happy weekend.